Hey guys, we're back. Thanks a lot for tuning in for episode 225.
And we have two very special guests, Steph Schwartzman. Steph, say hi. And our other special guest is none other than Dean Tomlinson.
Hello, everyone.
There's a lot going on. First of all, the Dormal itself. Steph, it seems like everyone sort of credited you with getting everyone to the Dormal. So
It was nothing. I'm just made to be a party planner. But
was there anything else that you were doing throughout the week to get people excited about the Dormal?
I did invite everybody in for my dress viewing, which I don't know if you noticed, but it was a handmade. It was a Jessica McClintock dress that was then totally deconstructed and remade with the help of my lovely roommate Abigail.
Of course.
She was holding the glue gun the whole time. And Danny B actually helped me too. Who knew that he knew so much about 18th century ballroom gowns?
I thought it was kind of neat that Shane got to go, even though originally he was supposed to study that night.
And I thought that was interesting that Danny B said he's close enough.
What a wonderful journey that Danny B was on this year. Just to see his growth over the course of this year was tremendous. He did get taller. And spiritual growth. Spiritual as well.
You know who else has come a long way is we saw that Brittany and Courtney were planning on only going to the Dormal for a little while because they had a Tri-Chi event. It was kind of up to Courtney, it seemed like, whether they stayed or went. And for Courtney to say that, like, it's more important to stay here with our floor than to go to a Tri-Chi event was kind of huge for her.
I just think that Courtney is a wonderful free spirit, and trying to guess her behavior or even hazard a guess would be like trying to imagine when a firefly will illuminate its heart. I think it's impossible.
Let's talk about the makeovers, because for me, this was a huge highlight.
Oh my gosh, Abigail was so pretty.
I
Abigail
know.
was just like a princess. She was like Anne Hathaway.
I was kind of interested to see what Gopher would think of the makeover.
He already had this attraction for her, but then to see her just looking at her full potential, it was like she knew just that they were soulmates. Do you notice how she was telling him jokes all night? I mean, she could be a stand-up comedian because she is so funny.
Steph, you were asked
Oh, yeah.
to Dormal with Mike. Were you surprised by that?
I mean, first of all, it was like, I am just so not ready to date yet. Also, Mike is like my brother. That is so gross. I mean, he is like, he's everybody's fun guy friend. It was really sweet of him to offer, but I'm not attracted to Mike.
I want to know why
Oh my
Mike didn't
goodness.
have another date lined up.
What do you mean, Tommy?
Like, I don't know why he didn't ask Brittany.
Because, isn't that obvious?
You don't have to go you like.
Yeah, exactly. I would just think that being in each other's friend zones, that he probably would
But what
feel
if they
like...
went as friends?
I think when you've had a history like that, you can't just go as friends and it's really just friends. I think there'd be this pressure there, and I think there already was. You know, we saw by the end of the night, they were slow dancing together and they kissed, which was an awesome kiss, but then, you know, it was like at the end they were kind of like, this doesn't feel right. We feel like we're supposed to do this because people keep telling us we should. And so I think that if they would have gone together, it would have been like even more pressure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can understand why he
That
did.
guy might have exploded.
Yeah, Terry was really frustrated. So Josh has been living under the Lincoln Bridge up to now, and he decides to come back. He's realized that, like, he needs to have his friends and everything.
I was just really glad to see the old Josh back.
Yeah.
I know, Lisa, you were talking about that earlier. We have finally, he has come full circle. Kind of.
Wonderful. The Kabbalists teach that we connect with our spirituality every time we resist our own egos, and I think that Josh did a wonderful job of resisting his ego.
Which I think it takes a lot for Josh to sort of apologize. And so I thought that was him being a really big person. Let's talk about Marshall a little bit. As much as we might not like to. I know, Steph, I'm so sorry I have to even bring him up. They were going to announce the RA of the Year award recipient.
Right.
Steph, how did you feel about when you found out that Marshall won?
Oh my God, my world was broken. I was just so shocked. You just hope that there's going to get rewarded for being probably the worst RA of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a lot of insult to injury for me. And with the outfit right there, too, was like, I just somehow got inspired to, and I mean, you saw it. It was a miracle that I was even able to stand up for that.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
literally stood up to him. I did watch the episode, and so I do feel somewhat vindicated now.
Dean, why don't you talk a little bit about that?
You know, firstly, Marshall's reaction when I made the announcement was a terrible display. And it would have been wonderful for him if, like Josh, he was able to set his own ego aside. To put some things in greater perspective, the job of residential director is not a wonderful one. I wanted Marshall to have to put up with all of the, pardon my language, but CRAT that comes up when you're a residential director. In doing so, I protected Yossi from a very troubling and exhausting year. As I always say, when we reach the end of the light, we know and are about to step into the darkness. Faith is knowing that one of two things will happen. Your foot will land on steady ground, or you'll learn how to fly. And my hope for Marshall is that in this role, which is a challenging and unthankful one, he will learn to fly.
An uninvited guest to the Dormal, who I knew we had not seen the last of, Lacey. Danny B, I thought, handled the situation really well,
Yeah.
but she wants to talk to him again, and I'm really concerned about that because she's so psycho and scary.
Well, I'm just trying to think about what is it that she has to say to him that's so important. I don't know what it could possibly be.
Well, I have a number of ideas of what it could possibly be, because a lot of times when people break off relationships and it's not mutual, the other person has a lot of things that they want to say.
Yeah.
She really makes my blood boil. Danny B. Sailor is a wonderful, he's an orchid, and she's a tropical beetle just feeding at him.
And I have to say, Lacey is crazy. I mean, that's
Oh.
crazy.
That's saying a lot.
And it was almost kind of like he was trying to become a part of Danny's life.
So let's start with Dean. Who is your thumbs up this week?
I would give my thumbs up this week to Gopher, just for a year of positivity and friendship, which I think was expressed through every action he took in this episode.
I am giving my thumbs up to my girl Brittany, and I was just so excited to see her kiss Mike. But then also, she decided that, you know, a relationship with Mike wasn't really the thing for her right now.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really mature of her.
My thumbs up this week goes to Marshall Adams the First.
What?
Let me explain myself.
Please do.
We saw such a dramatic change in his heart, whether it was true or not, whether
Okay.
it was real or not. But I think the fact that he has been able to make this turnaround speaks volumes about the power that the good on the floor has.
My thumbs up is for Josh. It was great that he finally realized what was really important, and that is having the support of your friends and being around your friends. Thumbs down.
My thumbs down would have to go to Lacey. No
Yeah.
thank you. That's it, just no thank you, period, end.
Yeah, I've been agreeing. Lacey is my thumbs down too, because she frankly, I think, is giving a bad name to women all over the place.
Yeah.
My thumbs down this week goes to Mike. Because he has led all of us viewers for the past 2 seasons, for the whole year, to thinking that there was going to be some magic that happened with him and Britt.
There was.
And there's nothing there. Oh, it was such a big letdown this week. And this is not a lightly given thumbs down. Mike has been my number one. I've always been for Mike. And he just threw me a big... it was just like a
Okay.
big kick in the face.
My thumbs down is absolutely 100% and without a doubt going to go to Lacey. She just scares me.
All right. Well, this week has been a lot of fun. Thanks, guys, again so much for watching. We'll see you next week for the season finale.
We're waiting on some loose ends to be tied up, so we'll see if that happens or if we'll be left with any cliffhangers.
Cliffhangers. Hope not. All right. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.